Hello my dear viewers. In this video we are discussing about very first stotra which is belongs to the Sukta number 1 of the Rigveda Mandal 1. Let us start. Dear viewers, let us discuss a small introduction to the Sukta number 1. This first Sukta of the first mandala of the Rigveda is addressed to the Agni Deva, the Vedic god of fire. As the very first verse of the Rigveda, it holds immense significance and set a tone for the entire collections of the various stotras. This sukta is important because of it encapsulates the spirit of Vedic ritual and devotion. Here, some key aspects for this sukta. First one, deity. This sukta is dedicated to Agni Deva. In a Vedic tradition, Agni is more than just a fire. He is the divine messenger, the intermediary between humans and the other gods, and carrying the offerings from the sacrifices to the celestial realms. He is also the fire of the earth, the divine spark within all beings, and the symbol of purification and energy. Second one is Maharshi. The Maharshi of this sukta is Madhuschanda Vishwamitra. Who is the son of Maharshi Vishwamitra? The rishis were believed to have directly perceived the Vedic stotras. Third one is meter, or which means chandas. The meter of the first few stotras of this sukta is predominantly Gayatri. The Vedic meter consists of 3 lines of 8 syllables each, and the fourth one is key themes. The sukta invokes Agni with the various epithets highlighting his multifaceted nature and the importance in a Vedic life and the ritual. Fifth one, significance. This is the opening sukta which is considered as a foundational sukta, which establishes the importance of Agni in the Vedic pantheon and in the sacrificial rituals that were controlled to Vedic religious practices. It also sets the poetic and the spiritual tone for the entire Rigveda. The very first word of the Rigveda is Agnim, directly addressed to the fire god. This sukta is a powerful invocation to Agni, recognizing his pivotal role in the cosmic order and in the lives of Vedic people. There is one more classification of Rigveda Stotra based on the anuvaks, which means based on the recitation of the stotra. Dear viewers, let us start. Introduction to the stotra number 1. This opening stotra set the tone for entire Rigveda. It begins with an invocation or invitation of an Agni, highlighting his dual role both as a divine fire and a divine messenger. This stotra emphasizes the sacred nature of fire and its centrality in the cosmic order, signifying the connections between the material and the spiritual worlds. It is also an invocation to Agni, recognizing his multifaceted role in Vedic rituals and his significance in connecting the humans and the divine realms. Agni is not just a physical fire, but also it represents the divine will and the messenger between gods and the humans, and also the purifier. The stotra highlights the several key functions of Agni, within the sacrificial context. Details of the stotra. Maharshi Madhuchanda Vishwamitra, Devata Agni, Chandas, which means meter is Gayatri, Swara or tone is Swara. This very first stotra is Agnim Ile Purohitam, Yajnasya Devam Ritvijam, Hotaram Ratnadatamam. Let us analyze the word by word meaning of the above stotra. Agnim means fire. Agni, the deity of fire, are also representing the divine messenger. Ide, which means I praise, invoke or call upon doing the stotra chanting. Purohitam, which means the one who is placed in front of the priest or the leader of the rituals, one who is most excellent or preeminent among the gods. Yajnasya means of the sacrifice or yajna, the central aspect of Vedic rituals. Devam, which means divine being, deity, brightest one, philanthropic one, etc. Ritvijam, which means the priest who performs the sacrifice in a proper seasons, the officiating priest or the one who performs the rituals at the right time, which means Ritu plus Ja. That means one who performs the rituals at the right time or in a proper seasons. Hotaram, which means the one who invokes or call upon the gods, the chief ritvijas who must present in the deity's yajna, the Hotra, priest who recites the Vedic stotras in a Vedic rituals. Ratnadatamam, which means the bestower of the treasuries, the one who grants wealth and blessings. You are the greatest giver of the pearls and gems in the form of reward for the consequences of the yajna. The translation of the above stotra based on the above words. Dear Agni Deva, I praise you that you are the divine priest and the officiating priest of the sacrifice and the most excellent or ambassador of the gods or in the direct deity form present in the yajna. The name of the four chief ritvijas are Brahma, Hotra, Advairiv, Udgatra. So, you are the one of the four ritvijas, that is Hotra, who is the center of the sacrifice, the one who brings the gods and divine wealth in the form of rewards to us. Agni Deva, you are a deity who receives the humans' oblations first before the other deity. So, let us study Sayanacharya commentary. Here, we discuss some small introduction about the Sayanacharya. The Sayanacharya was born into the learned Brahmin family in Hampi, Karnataka state at 14th century Christ era, which is under Vijayanagara Empire in South India. His father name was Mayana and his mother was Srimati. The family belongs to the Bharadwaja Gotra and followed the Taittiriya Shaka school of Krishna Yajurveda, indicating an early immersion in a Vedic tradition and learning. He had two brothers. Elder brother name is Madhava, who is the Advaita Vedanta scholar, also known as Vidyaranya, the founder of Vijayanagara Empire, with the brothers Hakka and Bukka. The younger brother name is Bhoganatha or Somanatha. The Sayanacharya, the renowned scholar and the Prime Minister at the Vijayanagara court, produced one of the most influential and authoritative commentaries on the Vedas. His Rigveda Bhashya, the commentary on Rigveda, is monumental work that serves as both philological guide and the theological text. Sayana's approach, although fundamentally grounded in a Mimamsa tradition, and is also informed by Puranic and Vedantic elements. In the first mantra of the Rigveda, he set the tone for how Vedic mantras or stotras should be interpreted through a ritualistic lens, which means Yajna Pradhana, with a philosophical depth and with a reverence for the Vedic deities. Let us study Sayana's commentary on first stotra. Let us delve into how Sayana interprets each word and components of the stotra. The first word of the stotra is Agnim. Sayana identifies Agni as a fire deity, but more specifically, he interprets Agni primarily as a sacrificial fire, which means Yajnagni and the deity presiding over the fire. He often gives multiple layer of interpretation of Agni or the three types of Agni as given by Sayanacharya: Adibhautika or material Agni, which means the actual fire kindled in the rituals; Adidaivika or divine Agni, which means the god Agni as a cosmic force. Last one is Adhyatmika or spiritual Agni, which means the inner fire or consciousness related to the soul, or Jnanagni, which means the fire of knowledge. The Sayana glosses the term Agnim as follows: Agni Shabdaha Devata Vachanakaha Sacha Yajnarambakale Homa Pradhanasya Devasya Agnehi Parigrahaha, which means the word Agni denotes the deity, and here it refers to the god Agni, who is prominent at the beginning of the sacrificial rituals. The second term of the stotra is Ile. The verb Ile means I praise or I invoke with the reverence. Sayana comments to this term Ile that Ile is an act of devotion, invocation, and the prayer that is expressed by the Maharshis as he begins the Vedic stotras. This is not mere flattery, rather it is a ritual action, which means kriya, aimed at the initiating the yajna, which means sacrifice, with the blessings of the Agni. He connects it to the concept of bhakti sadhana, praising the deity to gain the ritual efficacy. Then, for this term Ile, Sayana writes, Ile iti stutau stutyena prinayan yajna prarambaya agnim avahayami, which means, thus, through praise, I call upon Agni to commence the sacrifice. The third term is Purohitam. The term Purohita means one placed in front, referring both spatially and symbolically to the someone who leads the sacrificial rituals. Sayana explains the term Purataha Hitam as follows: Purataha Hitam, one who is placed in front of the Yajamana, which means the owner of the sacrifice, indicating a leader of Yajna or the representative. Agni is a Purastat Stapitaha, which means placed ahead of the ritual to lead its progression. Here, Sayana elaborates the Agni's dual role as a physical fire, first before the sacrifice begins. Second one is as a divine priest who lead the gods to the yajna through the various stotras. Sayana emphasizes that Agni is not just a priest but also mediator between human and divine realms. The fourth term of the stotra is Yajnasya. This genitive compound refers to the of the sacrifice. The Sayana commentary here grounds the whole stotra in the context of ritual action, which means karma kanda. He says, Yajnasya kartavyasya karmanaha sadakatamaha ayam agnihi, which means Agni is the most effective agent for accomplishing the sacrifice. Agni is the instrumental deity without whom no sacrificial act is possible. Here, he is both the means recipient of the oblations and the divine messenger. The fifth term, Devam. Here, Sayana explains the word Deva etymologically and theologically. He gives the root word Diyu, Krida, Dyuti, Stuti, Modaswapa, Karmasu. Here, the root Div means play, light, praise, delight, or the rest, actions associated with the gods. Thus, Agni is the Deva because of the following. He shines, which means Dyotate. He is praised, which means Stutaye. He brings joy, which means Modayati. He is worshipped in sacrifice. Here, Sayana also notes that calling Agni Deva acknowledges his cosmic power, not just his ritual role. Sixth term of the stotra is ritvijam. This is compound word which is the combination of ritu, yaj, which means ritu means season or time and yaj means sacrifice. Totally its meaning is the one who performs sacrifice at the proper time. Sayana expands this as follows. Agni is called ritvija because he presides over the timely rituals and ensures they are performed in accordance with the proper calendrical and astronomical timings. Sayana quoted the word ritvija as follows. Ritvija iti rutusu yajatiti ritvit yajnasya kala visheshanusarinaha karta agni, which means the one who performs the sacrifices according to the proper times is known as Agni. Thus, Ritvija implies precision, order, and ritual regularity embodied in Agni. The seventh term is Hotaram. Hota is one of the four principal Vedic priests, the invokers or reciter of the stotras. Sayana emphasizes Agni is a archetypal Hotra, the first and the divine one. Though the human priests recites mantras, it is Agni who actually conveys the offerings to the gods. Sayana says, Hotaram havi prahinoti devanam prati tena hoteti uchate, which means the Agni conveys the oblations to the gods and hence he is called Hotra. Agni as a Hotra serves as the cosmic messenger, the one who transforms the physical into divine. The last term of the first stotra, Ratna Datamam. This is superlative compound word which is the combination of Ratna, Datama and Tamam. Ratna means jewel, treasure. Datam means to bestow. Tamam means most. Sayana glosses this as Ratnananam Data Data Datama Uttamaha Data, which means the Agni is the best giver of the riches or boons. This indicates that the Agni is the most generous deity, bestowing both material wealth and the spiritual merits, which means punya. Sayana may even hint that Ratna can be interpreted as Moksha Lakshana Phala, the ultimate treasure of the liberation. According to the Sayana, the opening stotra of the Rigveda is not merely an invocation, it is a ritual proclamation, spiritual overture, and the cosmic alignment. It marks the following points: the commencement of all ritual, the link between human effort and the divine grace, the primacy of Agni as a mediator of all the sacred communications. Agni as a Brahmana. Sayana occasionally interpret Vedic deities as symbolic manifestations of the Brahmana. Agni as the first word of the Veda is not just the fire god but the symbolic invocation of consciousness and divine presence. Yajna as a cosmic order. Through Agni, the Yajna maintains Rita, which means cosmic order. Every act of sacrifice is restoration of harmony. The Sayana commentary elevates the stotra from a poetic lines to multi-dimensional sacred key, which unlockings the path of dharma, artha, kama, and ultimately the moksha. Conclusion: the Agni is the first deity of the Rigveda. The first stotra of the Rigveda is profound invocation to Agni, representing both the sacred fire and the divine wisdom that guides the humanity in the following ways. First one, seeking divine knowledge as the highest pursuit. Second one, living a life of purity in action and thoughts leads to the prosperity and the fulfillment, devotion, and selfless sacrifice. And the third one is recognizing Agni as a guiding force that illuminates the path of truth, bridge between the material and the spiritual realm. And the fourth one is Agni as a Yajnas priest symbolize the fire of devotion that transforms material offerings into divine merit. Fifth one, Vedic sacrifices, which means Yajnas, ensuring the spiritual progress and the cosmic harmony. Sixth one and last one, Agni represents purification, light, and energy in both physical and spiritual worlds. Agni's role as a mediator signifies balance between the human and the divine realms. Thank you.